thanks for checking out our channel.
Hope you like this week's technique. So we're back again with another week of advanced karate techniques. Today we want to do something really different than what we've been kind of doing. We usually just do techniques, but today we want to talk about the concepts of blocking. So we're going to start with understanding in our style of karate is Shotokan, and a lot of our blocking is double blocking, which people really, I think, don't understand why we practice things one way, and then when we practice it in fighting, we're practicing with just single hands. Well, there's a reason for all these extra motions when we practice our blocking, and it's really to get the strike offline before we start to actually apply the block. So any kata that we're doing, you can take obviously Heian Shodan, it comes down the line. This comes up first before this happens. All right, and if you're practicing from a walking drill standpoint, this is utilized every time, okay? If we're practicing from a horse stance, uchiuke or sotoke, you know, we always practice with this secondary hand, but when we go to apply it, we always remove it, which I think is a big mistake. The purpose for the hand is really to get stuff offline. So what do I mean by that? So if we're working on straight punches and he's punching to here, okay, this is a straight line pretty much from A to B. One more time? Okay, so the most important thing I need to do is I need to get out of the line of that. So by utilizing this front hand, once this is past here, then I can utilize the block. This block is very slow by itself for the most part. Although most people can effectively block with single hands, it's not like it doesn't work. But what we're talking about is shooting the hand offline, right? And then making the blocks into something else, okay? Like this could be a good arm break. This is very safe. Once the hand is past here, this is all stuff that we can utilize to help us be in closer to the opponent and to keep control of the opponent versus just hard blocking, and then I got the secondary hand, you know, then this becomes something totally different. I'm not looking to go back and forth with them. Shotokan is a, you know, a one-shot system, pretty much. And what do they mean by that? Well, we want to set up for one perfect strike. Does it happen like that all the time? No. I mean, in fighting, very rarely does a one perfect strike happen. But the idea is to practice so much a technique that it gives you your best opportunity to make it a one strike if you can. So anyways, offline, there's your block, okay, with agi, okay? Okay, if it's in the center, I'm still getting offline, there's my secondary block. Now, this also can be, you know, a break or from here, a controlling situation. But the main objective is to get it off the center line. I need to get this past before I get to the next part of the move. Now, sotoke is a little bit different, or some people call it uchi. It depends on what school you come from. I know there's a bit of a controversy which one is correct. We call the inside block sotoke here at our school, so for better or worse, that's what we're going to call it in the video. So when we practice sotoke, hand comes out, this comes in. So what is this hand particularly doing at this point? I believe that it's still off center before the actual block comes in or strike. Now, from this side, does it work like that? Oh, I mean, it could. It's just a matter of what you're comfortable doing and what makes most sense for the situation. So we get often asked about, you know, the street hook punch. So most street fights, from what I understand with everybody leaves comments, only happens with this MMA fighter who throws the perfect hook punch, which is unstoppable, but it's not the case. Really look up some street fights and really take a look at what they're doing. I think you'll get a much better interpretation that we're not practicing for the street fight. We're practicing karate in the dojo to be a better person and to have better technique. So for the hook punch, does it work? There's agi-uke. There's uchiuke, okay? So the angle changes, but now I'm using this as a block, okay, instead of a deflection with that hand. This one, I'm gonna use as a deflection before the block. So it can be used both ways. Shutoke is another one that we wanted to kind of touch upon. How does shutoke actually work? So he punches, deflect, see the hand? Push and strike, okay? So the technique comes this way. All right, so I come this way, for either sotoke or, from the other hand, shutoke, okay? It really just depends on what side you're on. So a lot of these techniques just require a lot of practicing, but in Shotokan, every technique that you do is both a strike and a block or a deflection. They're really universal. It's not just one or the other, okay? So it's very important to make sure that you fully understand the technique the best you can. And to get the understanding is really about practicing with somebody hands-on. It's not always practicing in the ear. Okay, in the ear, you know, everybody looks good. But when you put a partner in front of them and you increase the speed, increase the intensity, it either works or it doesn't work. The techniques that we do in practice have been for many years of practicing at full speed. Okay, so, you know, a lot of thought and effort gets put into everything that we're trying to give to you people on the other side, but we don't know everything by any stretch. Always changing technique, always not afraid to learn a new way of doing it, a better way of doing it, and to keep an open mind. I think that's really important. So hopefully you like this video. Let me know what you think about it, or if you have questions, or maybe you have a different twist on some of the techniques that we did today. I'd like to hear what you have to think and say, okay? Thank you.
Checking out this week's episode.
I'd like to thank all the subscribers that have been coming to the channel. If you guys can, you know, write some comments and like the video, we appreciate it a lot. See you soon.